The Winter's Tale by William Shakespeare, Act 1, Scene 1. Enter Camillo and Archidamus. If you shall chance, Camillo, to visit Bohemia on the like occasion whereon my services are now on foot, you shall see, as I have said, great difference betwixt our Bohemia and your Sicilia. I think this coming summer the king of Sicilia means to pay Bohemia the visitation which he justly owes him, wherein our entertainment shall shame us. We will be justified in our loves, for indeed, beseech you, verily I speak it in the freedom of my knowledge, we cannot with such magnificence, in so rare I know not what to say, we will give you sleepy drinks, that your senses, unintelligent of our insufficience, may, though they cannot praise us, as little accuse us. You pay a great deal too dear for what's given freely. Believe me, I speak as my understanding instructs me, and as mine honesty puts it to utterance. Sicilia cannot show himself overkind to Bohemia. They were trained together in their childhoods, and there rooted betwixt them then such an affection which cannot choose but branch now, since their more mature dignities and royal necessities made separation of their society. Their encounters, though not personal, hath been royally attorneyed with interchange of gifts, letters, loving embassies, that they have seemed to be together, though absent, shook hands as over a vast, and embraced as it were from the ends of opposed winds. The heavens continue their loves. I think there is not in the world either malice or matter to alter it. You have an unspeakable comfort of your young Prince Mamillius. It is a gentleman of the greatest promise that ever came into my note. I will very well agree with you in the hopes of him. It is a gallant child, one that indeed physics the subject, makes old hearts fresh. They that went on crutches ere he was born desire yet their life to see him a man. Would they else be content to die? Yes, if there were no other excuse why they should desire to live. If the king had no son, they would desire to live on crutches till he had one. Scene 2. Enter Leonatus, Hermione, Mamillius, Polixenes, Camillo, and attendants. Nine changes of the watery star hath been the shepherd's note since we have left our throne without a burthen. Time as long again would be filled up, my brother, with our thanks, and yet we should for perpetuity go hence in debt. And therefore, like a cipher, yet standing in rich place, I multiply with one, we thank you, many thousands mo that go before it. Stay your thanks a while, and pay them when you part. Sir, that's tomorrow. I am questioned by my fears of what may chance or breed upon our absence, that may blow no sneaping winds at home to make us say, this is put forth too truly. Besides, I have stayed to tire your royalty. We are tougher, brother, than you can put us to it. No longer stay. 1 7 night longer, very sooth, tomorrow. We'll part the time between us then, and in that I'll no gainsaying. Press me not, beseech you so. There is no tongue that moves, none in the world, so soon as yours could win me. So it should now, were there necessity in your request, although 'twere needful I denied it. My affairs do even drag me homeward, which to hinder were in your love a whip to me, my stay, to you a charge and trouble. to save both. Farewell, our brother. Tongue-tied our queen, speak you. I had thought, sir, to have held my peace until you had drawn oaths from him not to stay. You, sir, charge him too coldly. Tell him you are sure all in Bohemia's well. This satisfaction the bygone day proclaimed. This say to him he's beat from his best ward. Well said, Hermione. To tell he longs to see his son were strong. But let him say so then, and let him go. But let him swear so, and he shall not stay. We'll thwack him hence with distaffs. Yet of your royal presence I'll adventure the borrow of a week. When at Bohemia you take my lord, I'll give him my commission to let him there a month behind the jest prefixed for his parting. Yet, good deed, Leonatus, I love thee not a jar of the clock behind. What lady she her lord? You'll stay? No, madame. Nay, but you will. I may not, verily. Verily? You put me off with limber vows, but I, though you would seek to unsphere the stars with oaths, should yet say, sir, no going. Verily you shall not go. A lady's verily is as potent as the Lord's. Will you go yet? Force me to keep you as a prisoner, not like a guest. So you shall pay your fees when you depart and save your thanks. How say you, my prisoner or my guest? By your dread verily, one of them you shall be. Your guest then, madame. To be your prisoner should import offending, which is for me less easy to commit than you to punish. Not your jailer then, but your kind hostess. Come, I'll question you of my lord's tricks, and yours when you were boys. You were pretty lordings then? We were, fair queen, two lads that thought there was no more behind but such a day tomorrow as today, and to be boy eternal. Was not my lord the verier wag of the two? We were as twined lambs that did frisk in the sun, and bleat the one at the other. What we changed was innocence for innocence. We knew not the doctrine of ill-doing, nor dreamed that any did. Had we pursued that life, and our weak spirits never been higher reared with stronger blood, we should have answered heaven boldly, not guilty. The imposition cleared, hereditary ours. By this we gather you have tripped since. O my most sacred lady, temptations have since then been born to his. For in those unfledged days was my wife a girl. Your precious self had then not crossed the eyes of my young playfellow. Grace to boot! Of this make no conclusion, lest you say your queen and I are devils. Yet go on, the offences we have made you do we'll answer. If you first sinned with us, and that with us you did continue fault, and that you slipped not with any but with us, is he one yet? He'll stay, my lord. At my request he would not. Hermione, my dearest, thou never spokest to better purpose. Never, never but once. What? Have I twice said well? When was it before? I prithee tell me. Cram us with praise, and make us as fat as tame things. One good deed dying tongueless slaughters 1,000 waiting upon that. Our praises are our wages. You may ride us with one soft kiss, 1,000 furlongs ere with spur we heat an acre. But to the goal. My last good deed was to entreat his stay. What was my first? It has an elder sister, or I mistake you. Oh, would her name were Grace! But once before I spoke to the purpose. When? Nay, let me have it, I long. Why, that was when 3 crabbed months had soured themselves to death, ere I could make thee open thy white hand, and clap thyself my love. Then didst thou utter, I am yours forever. 'Tis grace indeed. Why, lo you now, I have spoke to the purpose twice. The one forever earned a royal husband, the other for some while a friend. Too hot, to mingle friendship far as mingling bloods. I have tremor cordis on me, my heart dances, but not for joy, not for joy. This entertainment may a free face put on, derive a liberty from heartiness, from bounty, fertile bosom, and well become the agent. It may, I grant, but to be paddling palms and pinching fingers, as now they are, and making practice smiles, as in a looking-glass, and then to sigh as twere the mort of the deer. Oh, that is entertainment my bosom likes not, nor my brows. Mamillius, art thou my boy? Eh, my good lord. I fex. Why, that's my bawcock. What, hast smutched thy nose? They say it is a copy out of mine. Come, captain, we must be neat. Not neat, but cleanly, captain. And yet the steer, the heifer, and the calf are all called neat. Still virginaling upon his palm. How now, you wanton calf, art thou my calf? Yes, if you will, my lord. Thou wantest a rough pash in the shoots that I have, to be full like me, yet they say we are almost as like as eggs. Women say so, that will say anything, but were they false as overdyed blacks, as wind, as waters false, as dice are to be wished by one that fixes, no born twixt his and mine, yet were it true to say this boy were like me. Come, Sir Page, look on me with your welkin eye, sweet villain, most dearest, my collop, can thy dam, may it be, affection, thy intention stabs the centre, thou dost make possible things not so held, communicatest with dreams, how can this be? With what's unreal thou coactive art and fellowest nothing, then 'tis very credent thou mayest conjoin with something, and thou dost, and that beyond commission, and I find it, and that to the infection of my brains, and hardening of my brows. What means Cecilia? He something seems unsettled. How, my lord? What cheer? How is it with you, best brother? How look as if you held a brow of much distraction? Are you moved, my lord? No, in good earnest, how sometimes nature will betray its folly, its tenderness, and make itself a pastime to harder bosoms. Looking on the lines of my boy's face, methoughts I did recoil 23 years, and saw myself unbreeched in my green velvet coat, my dagger muzzled, lest it should bite its master, and so prove, as ornament oft does, too dangerous. How like methought I then was to this colonel, this squash, this gentleman. Mine honest friend, will you take eggs for money? No, my lord, I'll fight. You will? Why, happy man be as dull. My brother, are you so fond of your young prince as we do seem to be of ours? If at home, sir, he's all my exercise, my mirth, my matter. Now my sworn friend, and then mine enemy, my parasite, my soldier, statesman, all. He makes a July's day short as December, and with his varying childness cures me in thoughts that would thick my blood. So stands this squire officed with me. We two will walk, my lord, and leave you to your graver steps. Hermione, how thou lovest us, show in our brother's welcome. Let what is dear in Sicily be cheap. Next to thyself and my young rover, he's a parent to my heart. If you would seek us, we are yours in the garden. Shall us attend you there? To your own bents dispose you, you'll be found, be you beneath the sky. I am angling now, though you perceive me not how I give line. Go to, go to! How she holds up the neb, the bill to him, and arms her with the boldness of a wife, to her allowing husband. Gone already, inch thick, knee deep, overhead and ears a forked one. Go play, boy, play. Thy mother plays, and I play too, but so disgraced a part, whose issue will hiss me to my grave. Contempt and clamor will be my knell. Go play, boy, play. There have been, or I am much deceived, cuckolds ere now, and many a man there is, even at this present, now while I speak this, holds his wife by the arm, that little thinks she has been sluiced in his absence, and his pond fished by his next neighbor, by Sir Smile his neighbor. Nay, there's comfort in it, whiles other men have gates, and those gates opened as mine against their will. Should all despair that have revolted wives, the tenth of mankind would hang themselves. Physic for it there's none. It is a body planet that will strike where 'tis predominant. And it is powerful, think it, from east, west, north, south, be it concluded, nor barricado for a belly. Know it, it will let in and out the enemy with bag and baggage. Many thousand on us have the disease and feel it not. How now, boy? I am like you, they say. Why, that's some comfort. What, Camillo, here there? Eh, my good lord. Go play, Mamillius, thou art an honest man. Camillo, this great sir, will yet stay longer. You had much ado to make his anchor hold. When you cast out, it still came home. Didst note it? He would not stay at your petitions, made his business more material. Didst perceive it? They're here with me already, whispering, rounding. Sicilia is a so forth. 'Tis far gone when I shall gust it last. How came it, Camillo, that he did stay? At the good queen's entreaty, at the queen's be it. Good should be pertinent, but so it is not. Was this taken by any understanding pate but thine? For thy conceit is soaking, will draw in more than the common blocks. Not noted, is it, but of the finer natures? By some severals of headpiece extraordinary? Lower messes, perchance, are to this business purblind? Say, business, my lord? I think most understand Bohemia stays here longer. Ha! Stays here longer. Eh, but why? To satisfy your highness and the entreaties of our most gracious mistress. Satisfy? The entreaties of your mistress? Satisfy? Let that suffice. I have trusted thee, Camillo, with all the nearest things to my heart, as well my chamber councils, wherein, priest-like, thou hast cleansed my bosom. I from thee departed, thy penitent reformed. But we have been deceived in thy integrity, deceived in that which seems so. Be it forbid, my lord, to bide upon it. Thou art not honest, or if thou inclinest that way, thou art a coward, which hoaxes honesty behind, restraining from course required. Or else thou must be counted a servant grafted in my serious trust, and therein negligent. Or else a fool, that seest a game played home, the rich stake drawn, and takest it all for jest. My gracious lord, I may be negligent, foolish, and fearful. In every one of these no man is free, but that his negligence, his folly, fear, among the infinite doings of the world, sometime puts forth. In your affairs, my lord, if ever I were wilful negligent, it was my folly. If industriously I played the fool, it was my negligence. Not weighing well the end, if ever fearful to do a thing, where I the issue doubted, whereof the execution did cry out against the non-performance, 'twas a fear which oft infects the wisest. These, my lord, are such a loud infirmities that honesty is never free of. But beseech your grace, be plainer with me, let me know my trespass by its own visage. If I then deny it, 'tis none of mine. Have you not seen, Camillo, but that's past doubt, you have, or your eyeglass is thicker than a cuckold's horn? Or heard, for to a vision so apparent rumor cannot be mute, or thought for cogitation, resides not in that man that does not think. My wife is slippery, if thou wilt confess, or else be impudently negative, to have nor eyes, nor ears, nor thought, then say my wife's a hobby horse, deserves a name as rank as any flax wench that puts to before her troth plight. Say it and justify it. I would not be a stander by to hear my sovereign mistress clouded so, without my present vengeance taken. Shrew my heart, you never spoke what did become you less than this, which to reiterate were sin, as deep as that, though true. Is whispering nothing? Is leaning cheek to cheek? Is meeting noses? Kissing with inside lip? Stopping the career of laughter with a sigh, a note infallible of breaking honesty, horsing foot on foot, skulking in corners, wishing clocks more swift, hours, minutes, noon, midnight, and all eyes blind with the pin and web, but theirs only that would unseen be wicked. Is this nothing? Why then the world and all that's in it is nothing. The covering sky is nothing, Bohemia nothing, my wife is nothing, nor nothing have these nothings, if this be nothing. Good my lord, be cured of this diseased opinion, and betimes, for 'tis most dangerous. Say it be, 'tis true. No, no, my lord, it is, you lie, you lie. I say thou liest, Camillo, and I hate thee. Pronounce thee a gross lout, a mindless slave, or else a hovering temporizer, that canst with thine eyes at once see good and evil, inclining to them both. Were my wife's liver infected as her life, she would not live the running of one glass. Who does infect her? Why, he that wears her like her medal hanging about his neck, Bohemia, who, if I had servants true about me, that bear eyes to see alike mine honour as their profits, their own particular thrifts, they would do that which should undo more doing. And thou, his cupbearer, whom I from meaner form have benched and reared to worship, who mayest see plainly as heaven sees earth and earth sees heaven, how I am galled, mightest bespice a cup, to give mine enemy a lasting wink, which draught to me were cordial. Sir, my lord, I could do this, and that with no rash potion, but with a lingering dram that should not work maliciously like poison. But I cannot believe this crack to be in my dread mistress, so sovereignly being honourable. I have loved thee. Make that thy question, and go rot. Dost think I am so muddy, so unsettled, to appoint myself in this vexation, sully the purity and whiteness of my sheets, which to preserve is sleep, which being spotted is goads, thorns, nettles, tails of wasps. Give scandal to the blood, O the prince my son, who I do think is mine, and love as mine, without ripe moving to it. Would I do this? Could man so blench? I must believe you, sir, I do, and will fetch off Bohemia for it, provided that when he's removed, your highness will take again your queen as yours at first, even for your son's sake, and thereby for sealing the injury of tongues and courts and kingdoms known and allied to yours. Thou dost advise me even so as mine own course have set down. I'll give no blemish to her honour, none. My lord, go then, and with a countenance as clear as friendship wears at feasts, keep with Bohemia, and with your queen. I am his cupbearer. If from me he have wholesome beverage, account me not your servant. This is all. Do it, and thou hast the one half of my heart. Do it not, thou splittest thine own. I'll do it, my lord. I will seem friendly as thou hast advised me. O miserable lady, but for me, what case stand I in? I must be the poisoner of good Polixenes, and my ground to do it is the obedience to a master, one who, in rebellion with himself, will have all that are his so too. To do this deed promotion follows. If I could find example of thousands that had struck anointed kings and flourished after, I'll not do it. But since nor brass, nor stone, nor parchment bears not one, let villainy itself forswear it. I must forsake the court. To do it or no is certain to me a breakneck. Happy star, reign now. Here comes Bohemia. This is strange. Methinks my favor here begins to warp. Not speak. Good day, Camillo. Hail, most royal sir. What is the news in the court? None rare, my lord. The king hath on him such a countenance as he had lost some province and a region loved as he loves himself. Even now I met him with customary compliment when he, wafting his eyes to the contrary and falling a lip of much contempt, speeds from me, and so leaves me to consider what is breeding that changeth thus his manners. I dare not know, my lord. How dare not? Do not? Do you know and dare not? Be intelligent to me, 'tis thereabouts. For to yourself what you do know, you must, and cannot say you dare not. Good Camillo, your changed complexions are to me a mirror, which shows me mine changed too. For I must be a party in this alteration, finding myself thus altered with it. There is a sickness which puts some of us in distemper, but I cannot name the disease, and it is caught of you that yet are well. How caught of me? Make me not sighted like the basilisk. I have looked on thousands who have sped the better by my regard, but killed none so. Camillo, as you are certainly a gentleman thereto, clerk-like experienced, which no less adorns our gentry than our parents' noble names, in whose success we are gentle, I beseech you, if you know aught which does behoove my knowledge thereof to be informed imprisonment, not in ignorant concealment, I may not answer. A sickness caught of me, and yet I well, I must be answered. Dost thou hear, Camillo, I conjure thee, by all the parts of man which honor does acknowledge, wherefore the least is not this suit of mine, that thou declare what incidency thou dost guess of harm is creeping toward me, how far off, how near, which way to be prevented if to be, if not, how best to bear it. Sir, I will tell you, since I am charged in honor and by him that I think honorable. Therefore mark my counsel, which must be even as swiftly followed as I mean to utter it, or both yourself and me cry lost, and so good night. On, good Camillo, I am appointed him to murder you. By whom, Camillo? By the king. For what? He thinks, nay, with all confidence he swears, as he had seen it or been an instrument to vice you to it, that you have touched his queen forbiddenly. Oh, then my blessed blood turn to an injected jelly, and my name be yoked with his that did betray the best. Turn then my freshest reputation to a savour that may strike the dullest nostril where I arrive, and my approach be shunned, nay hated too, worse than the greatest infection that ever was heard or read. Swear his thought over by each particular star in heaven, and by all their influences you may as well forbid the sea for to obey the moon, or by oath remove or counsel shake the fabric of his folly, whose foundation is piled upon his faith, and will continue the standing of his body. How should this grow? I know not, but I am sure 'tis safer to avoid what's grown than question how 'tis born. If therefore you dare trust my honesty that lies enclosed in this trunk which you shall bear along in pond, away tonight. Your followers I will whisper to the business, and will by twos and threes at several posterns clear them of the city. For myself I'll put my fortunes to your service, which are here by this discovery lost. Be not uncertain, for by the honor of my parents I have uttered truth, which if you seek to prove, I dare not stand by, nor shall you be safer than one condemned by the king's own mouth thereon, his execution sworn. I do believe thee, I saw his heart in his face. Give me thy hand, be pilot to me, and thy places shall still neighbor mine. My ships are ready, and my people did expect my hence departure 2 days ago. This jealousy is for a precious creature, as she's rare must it be great, and as his person's mighty must it be violent, and as he does conceive he is dishonored by a man which ever professed to him, why his revenges must in that be made more bitter. Fear overshades me. Good expedition be my friend, and comfort the gracious queen, part of his theme, but nothing of his ill-taken suspicion. Come, Camillo, I will respect thee as a father, if thou bearest my life off. Hence, let us avoid. It is in mine authority to command the keys of all the posterns. Please your highness to take the urgent hour. Come, sir, away. End of Act 1 of The Winter's Tale. Amen. Praise be to God. Jesus Christ. Jah Rastafari.